Okay, we are back, everybody. Welcome to the part of the program where we tell you about how to stay safe. Now, Sergeant Paul Tapau is here right now. Everybody knows him. He's the nicest guy in Guam. That is not the case tonight because he is angry. Word of warning, because, Sarge, a crime happened in our island community right now. You, in fact, took this very, very personal, and it's got you really, really upset.
It has, and it's very unfortunate that it happened. And, you know, with all the efforts in which the Guam Police Department has done with the outreach and, of course, the community-oriented policing strategy with embedding ourselves in the community, to hear something of this type of crime involving a community in itself, and I'm talking about the Taitano Apartments along Harmon Industrial Park. You know, a group of thugs, I'm gonna call them thugs, teenagers, actually went in there and they started terrorizing the residents there, asking them, demanding money, pretty much. I mean, that is really uncalled for, and I think this is the time where we need to understand our responsibilities and our duties as citizens, and to stand up and actually doing what's right and really, really taking ownership of our community.
Okay, some people might think because it was young people that committed this crime, and there were so many of them, that they may not face very stiff penalties, you know, because they're young people, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, it'll be a slap on the wrist, or they'll go to DY. What punishment do these young people face for, you know, terrorizing is no small joke. That's a really serious crime.
You know, they forget to realize that we can actually upgrade the stature or upgrade the offense. We can actually charge them as an adult. If in the event, you know, and this is pretty much, it's written out, this constitutes a felony, you know, a felony degree of a crime. And these kids, these thugs, these teenagers can actually be charged as an adult. So it really, you know, I apologize for my demeanor and everything, but, you know, when you hear about it, and you guys did the story, and, you know, it really breaks my heart that, you know, all the efforts in what we do, it's really, you know, we want to make that difference, but we're asking the community, and we're particularly asking the parents, you know, be a part of the responsibility of your child. That is your responsibility. And knowing that these are teenagers, these kids, they have to have adult supervision. And, you know, everybody asks the questions, where are the parents? And this is where we're going to ask the question, where are the parents in this situation and everything, and where, you know, what we can do. And it's really understanding the crime and understanding what happened. You know, I applaud the efforts and I applaud the bravery of the residents of Taitano Apartments, but, you know, we need the help. We need the help from the community in bringing closure to this, because we need to make a statement that we're not going to stand for this as a community and as an island.
And Sarge, perhaps more alarmingly, is we've seen this kind of crime before, and it's very, very unique. Mm-hmm. It's also incredibly scary, because you're talking about, like, sometimes when like apartment buildings, they're an enclosed area. It's a small amount of space, and yet, you know, there's all these residents, many of whom are probably home at that time. All of a sudden they hear something going on, and it's like a hurricane blows in there. You know, it gets stronger and stronger. Yep. People start sticking their head out. You know, you've got elderly people, you've got babies, you've got people who are just incredibly confused. There may be some people that want to take matters into their own hands. If this should happen, perish the thought, in somebody's apartment building and everything, what's the best way to handle that?
Secure yourself, be safe as possible. You know, find safety in your homes. You know, secure, lock your doors and everything, and then immediately call the police. The first thing you need to do is immediately call the police, give them a go-by of what's going on, give a good description. If you're able to capture a video or a picture of them, that's the best evidence in which we can use. We can do the follow-up, but that's emergent threat that we need to address right there and right now, because of the fact of threat of bodily harm, the use of weapons, and of course, the situation that they're in. Secure yourself in the confines of your home, call the police immediately, give them the nature of what's going on, be as detailed as possible, be very descriptive, give information, give a play-by, stay on the line with either 911 or the dispatcher that you're in communication with, and provide the go-by, so that we can actually, responding officers who are responding to that call, actually have a visual and an understanding, so that we can actually prepare and we can actually, you know, coordinate our approach, coordinate our efforts in either bringing adjacent units from respective precincts. These are the things in which we have to take into consideration. But for the residents that were experiencing this, the safety of your homes, call 911, call the police, call authorities immediately.
And I've seen that before, because if people call, there may be a police unit that comes like within minutes.
Yep, absolutely.
If even that, or like you said, I mean, there may be a police, they may be doing patrol, and they may be right on an adjacent street. 30 seconds later, they're there and they can control the situation.
Yeah, you're spot on. And we have the adjacent precincts of the Aganya precinct, we have the Dedado precinct, and of course the responding precinct will be the 2-month precinct, so we can easily, merge the efforts so that we can concentrate our efforts towards that direction. But, we're going to take this case. We're taking this seriously. This is brought to the attention, of course, to our investigators at CID, and we want to bring closure, but we're going to need the help from the community. We're going to need the help from the residents to really provide that information and really understand that what they're doing by reporting this is the right thing to do. And this is what you call taking responsibility. It's not their fault that this happened to them, but what they can do is taking responsibility of their home, their community, by reporting crime, by giving us that accurate information. And it goes twofold, to the parents of the kids, listen to the report, understand it. If this is your child, if this was your child and you heard about this, whether it be through social media or what you're hearing in the news, please take that responsibility, take that effort, be the right parent, and bring your child in. We know for a fact that they're teenagers. We know for a fact because of witness accounts and everything. Give us that information, please. This is a time in which we can make the difference. This is a time in which we can actually become stewards of our community by providing that information. And we're asking the parents to dig deep and really find out what they can do to make right of what they did.
Okay, and you've told us this many, many times. If you do want to fight crime, and everybody does, there is no greater weapon than information. So here is what you need to know about the crime at Taitano Apartments.
The Guam Crime Stoppers are seeking the help from the community relative to a terrorizing complaint that occurred at Taitano Apartments in Harmon. Now, preliminary police reports suggest that on Saturday, July 13, at around 7:30 in the evening, 7 male minors, possibly teenagers, armed with knives and pipes, began demanding money from residents of Taitano Apartments and began damaging a door to a unit. The individuals were given money by residents of the apartment in hopes of them leaving with no incident. As a group of thugs were leaving, they threatened the residents not to call the police and began damaging cars that were parked within the parking lot. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
Okay, Sarge, I know you were holding back there because you're really, really upset. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but I've known Paul a very long time, and this has got you very disturbed.
It has, because we've, our community partners such as Micronesian Resource Center, Manialo, and we do the efforts. They come out there and they provide the assistance to the community, and to hear about this, and it really is, disheartening to hear that the efforts in which the communities in which we're serving. These are, the individuals responsible were identified with that community. So, it breaks our heart, but it doesn't deter us from what we're going to continue to do. This is going to provide us with a baseline in which where we may need to restructure our approach and provide us a direction of where we need to address the audience or to address the citizens, and where we can be effective in providing information about making right choices, about decision-making skills, about being better stewards within the community. So, rest assured, our office and the Guam Police Department and all our nonprofit partners and our community partners are going to continue to do the work. This is not going to deter us from what we're going to do. This is only going to enhance us, and I always like to say, it's going to make us more better with all our efforts and our initiatives.
All right, we improvise, we adapt, and we overcome. That's
absolutely, what we do. Absolutely. But again, I'm asking the help of the community. The island is asking the help. So if you have any information, please provide that information to the Guam Crime Stoppers or call our dispatchers at 472-8911.
Okay, Sarge, thanks so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, stay tuned. We're back after this.